is up, Slumpbusters? This is your boy Kyle, and we are here with another edition. So the Los Angeles Lakers become the team that dominates headlines early on in NBA free agency, as other elite teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers remain rather quiet. Lakers end up making a big splash move by trading for Russell Westbrook early on in the week before the NBA draft. They sent the remainder of the baby Lakers, Kyle Kuzma and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and all of those Lakers that I grew up loving. They traded my final connection to my childhood love of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now they're left with a roster of 4 players, at least coming into free agency. It was LeBron James, now acquired Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and Marc Gasol, of course, because why not? Just have him there with the big 3 of the Lakers. And while there's definitely concern about the fact that the Lakers had a short roster, the fact that they have 3 max contract players is a huge victory for the Lakers, because their biggest problem in trying to surpass the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks and a healthy Los Angeles Clippers team, which we don't know if the Los Angeles Clippers are going to be healthy, with Kawhi Leonard, 1, having a torn ACL, and 2, being a free agent presently. The Lakers had to make a move to try and acquire a 3rd star. That was their next elevation point, and the Lakers win the trade in the simplest math possible of they acquire a top 40 player in the NBA in exchange for not a top 40 player in the NBA. Some people might say Kyle Kuzma has potential to one day be a top 40 player, but that's not even what the Washington Wizards are shooting for. The Wizards just wanted to offload that contract, and the Lakers were the team to make it happen while Westbrook's value was at its highest. So then the Lakers go into free agency and they make some interesting moves, mostly older veterans, and they stick to the 2020 model of Laker basketball, which is we are going to build around our stars with old guys who can shoot. So they signed Carmelo Anthony, they signed Trevor Ariza, who I don't suspect will play major minutes down the stretch for the Lakers. They signed 32-year-old Wayne Ellington, who happens to be the young guy in the group. And then they make other smaller moves later on in free agency. On day 2, they signed Kendrick Nunn to a 2-year contract that feels a lot like that time that they signed Quinn Cook from the champion Warriors. He'll kind of get some minutes mixed in there. And the Lakers also brought Malik Monk in, who is basically Walmart KCP. He shoots 33% from the three-point line. KCP shoots 36% from the three-point line. And that's basically the role that you're acquiring Malik Monk to do. Sit in the corner and shoot 3-pointers and play like 10 minutes a game. They also brought in Dwight Howard as a big, which again adds to the old guy group. Dwight Howard's going to be 36 in a couple weeks. And they bring back Talen Horton-Tucker on a $10 million 3-year contract. Not a bad move for the Lakers. Maybe THT will get some significant minutes that Trevor Ariza won't be getting in the playoffs, because Trevor Ariza is 37 years old and wasn't playing on the Heat, which means he probably won't play on this Laker team, even though their bench is a little bit more thin. Ultimately, the Lakers just kind of needed to fill some roster spots and put shooters around their core group of 3 stars, obviously LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. While the Lakers now find themselves way ahead in the Western Conference, which is mostly just by virtue of none of the top 10 players in the league changing teams, but also the fact that the Lakers have 3 players, and the second best team in the Western Conference, their second best player is probably still not as good as Russell Westbrook. Sorry, Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray or Tim Hardaway. There's a real scenario where just by virtue of having Luka, the Mavericks might be the second best team in the Western Conference now. So the Lakers may be the overwhelming favorites to move out of the Western Conference, but in doing so, they traded away all of the baby Lakers that I connected to with my childhood team of Julius Randle and Larry Nance and being a loser Laker fan. And here we are, 4 years later, watching the Lakers build their second big 3 and maybe go win another championship, or at the very least get there, because I think they might have trouble with Brooklyn and Milwaukee, but they should be beating every team in the West when that core of 3 guys stays healthy. Remember to subscribe to the Slumpbuster YouTube. We are on our way to 2,000, so help us keep that march going, and check out the Caveman Coffee Co. and use that promo code SLUMP at checkout. Again, the description to that is down below, so get your Caveman Coffee Co. now. Thank you guys, and we will see you again soon.